Well, 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 what do we have here? We put on this morning a set of new wheels. See them new little white rims. I bought a set of airless tires. No more going flat.
No more going flat?
No more going flat.
Amazing.
And who helped me this morning?
Me.
Did you do a good job?
Well, you tell me.
Yes, you did.
I can lift that up.
Go over and show us how you can lift that up. Okay. Let me get a hold of your helmet here. It's not strapped? Oh, okay.
Hold on to that. Yeah.
Watch a Supergirl. Look at this. Whoa. That's one strong girl right there. There's a tank of water in the back. It's got, oh, look at it. It's got about 4 or 5 gallons in it. It ain't nothing.
The gloves are right there waiting.
Huh?
The gloves are waiting.
Well, let me get around there and get around here into all these rocks. Let me put my keys where they belong. Okay. Oh, got a new tear. Look at another one right there.
Oh.
That ain't from us, honey. That's from people, animals.
I put them in your hand.
Yep.
I think he's running away.
We'll take a ride up through the freshly mown grass. I got up out of my deathbed and mowed that Monday.
I told him he's going to stay in bed and have a nap.
Yeah, she did. She told me, she said, you ought to stay in bed.
Did he listen? No, he didn't.
Well, I love to listen to good music, but YouTube is they're sort of fussy about stuff like that. I don't know why. Huh?
Ask the artist why they don't.
Well, hang on, folks. Woohoo! We're taking the long way to town. That's my neighbor Tim. Well, the dog, I haven't seen him in a few days, but I think he keeps him in the house and lets him out at night. Well, they mowed the line here. This road's getting harder and harder to go through. We're in some really, let me turn the air cooler on. Turn the air on the heads because it is hot. We're out of gas. I ain't got no gas in the tank. Look, Angelique, you're going to be walking in about 2 miles. Look at there. You ain't got no gas in the tank. Well, hope it makes it 15 miles. Well, you can see a few friendly clouds floating through. If we didn't have air ride suspension on this thing, it'd be like riding on a buckboard. You kids are too young to know what a buckboard is, but me and my brother Robert knows what a buckboard is. I don't know if my sisters remember the buckboard or not, but we had a buckboard on the farm. Stop, look, and listen. Ding, 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 ding. Beautiful day. Gotta blow the sun out of them pipes. Let that old carbon build up in them pipes there, and that'll cut down on your horsepower. Oh, I just feel frisky today. There was some heavy equipment right here yesterday, right? He was pulled in right along the road here. He was doing some clearing up there. This clearing, oh, there they are. They're still back in there. So I think they're going to be putting a house up in there. That's a snake infested place right there. Well, Angelique's back here all snugged up back here. She's in her own little zone back here. I'm telling you, she has been really coming through here in the last few months. You know, she just plans things out and helps me take care of the dogs. When I walk with the big dog, he just goes wherever I go. But when she walks the big dog, she puts it on a leash because she's just like me. She's afraid it will run off and get hit by a car. And we don't want that. I always kind of like this little area right in here, this little valley. There's a ham radio operator up there. This used to be a chicken hatchery, a farm, chicken farm. Well, they're going to have to either shit or get off the pot. We're down to 40. The brakes. Well, today's trip, we were at the store yesterday, but we had the dog in the car. And we'd already given him Dramamine, and he had already had a shot. And we wanted to get him home so he wouldn't be stressed out sitting there in the parking lot while she's in shopping. So I told her today, I said, can you not just get enough of stuff to put on the Harley? And she can load the Harley up good, I gotta say that. You know, we're just going to get fresh meat today. Yesterday, like I say, we had the dog, and she went in to pick up a couple of things. And by the way, I put a picture of that fine food that we got yesterday at the store, Stouffer's lasagna. I put it in the cover picture for my live video yesterday. Oh my gosh, that stuff was good. It had everything that I was looking for in a meal. She made a big green, well, you saw the salad. She made a big green salad. And it was really good. It won't be long now. We'll begin to see the leaves start changing color. It's just hard to believe it was just February the other day. And for some reason, now here it is August. Starting to approach the middle of the month. Well, we've been bleeding, I'm telling you, brother, bleeding. I just got my Sprout fiber bill today. $249 for my fiber. Remember, I just had a new Wi-Fi extension system to cover the property. And that was an additional $100 installation plus the monthly fee. So anyhow, It kicked the price up to $249, but it won't be that high next month. Even in the winter, when it snows, I'd like to be able to go out, take my trike and go out there in the snow and do some stuff, you know. We did last year. We went out and spun around in the snow, but we had to make a video last year. And this year we're going to do it live. We'll do a live broadcast from the front yard, and it'll all be in living color. Yeah, we got up this morning. The wheels came in yesterday, airless tires, and we got out there and she lifted the trailer up, and I pulled the pin out and pulled the old tire off and put the new one on both sides. And it cost $87 with shipping to get the two tires that will last a lifetime. We'll never have to worry about putting a tube in it, or get out there and go to work and the tire would be flat. You people that's got lawnmowers, you know what I mean. Them damn lawnmower tires go flat just overnight. Them cheap ass Carlisle tires. But no, we don't have to worry about these things anymore. They can sit there and just dry rot. And that was for $87 was for everything. The tire was already mounted on the rim, a solid rubber tire. I think it has 780 pounds per tire. Well, that gives you over 1,500 pounds. And I'm never going to be that heavy on that little utility trailer. Look down in here, you'll see a bunch of motorcycles right over here. Look right in there. See? Whoa, lots of them. Might be just a biker crew that hangs out there, but he may have something for sale. I don't know. Here in Alabama, you just don't drive up to somebody's front yard unless you know them or unless you're invited. Because they may be cooking crystal meth that day. You never know. Well, we're in Walker County now. When we crossed the bridge, we went into Blount County. We went west in Blount County till we hit the Walker County line, and now here we are cruising all through Walker County. And my gas gauge is getting lower. Gas. I ain't got no gas. It's just a pretty time of the year to ride a bike here in Alabama. Oh, sure, might have a little pop-up storm. But most time a biker, you know, they're not going to whine about it, catch a little rain, you know. It's going to happen. If you can't handle that kind of hardship, you might well not even purchase a bike, because a bike, there's a certain amount of hardship that comes with owning a bike. The constant watching out for yourself to make sure you don't get killed by a cager. You know, making sure people don't steal your helmet off the bike, or, you know, things you wouldn't even think about it as a cager sitting up there in the comfort of your car. But on a bike, you're constantly in motion, constantly. There's not a point where you can just lean back in your seat, put it on cruise, and just relax for a while. No, you still got to be watching the traffic and doing all that stuff. I think that's what makes biking interesting, you know? It's not dull. When you ride just a little 30-mile ride, it's always an adventure. The kind of adventure I like. You don't hardly ever have to use any brakes on the bike. Maybe to hold it steady while you're at an intersection or something, but them old gears will hold you down real good. $87 degrees. Come on, change so I can see. Oh, it ain't gonna show. It's 87 degrees here at this moment. Phone. Hey! Phone. Phone. P-H-O-N-E. I'm sitting here with this thing's mouth open, Waiting for her to put the phone in there. Turn it sideways, baby. There you go. That will hold it in there till I can. Huh?
You might need that, huh?
Yeah. Call me when you're ready. I'll be up there. Whoa. I'm going to tell you, it's hotter than 2 rats making love in a wool sock. As Wrecker Rick would say out there in Arizona. I got to get gas when she gets through. I won't get any right now. I won't be sitting up here running the air conditioner. Let's try that again. It's really hot today. How hot is it, Old Mac? Why, it's hotter than 2 rats making love in a wool sock. Why, that's awful hot, Old Mac. Yep. I gotta get around here and get my parking spot. Well, I got another cousin that is passing on. He may have already passed. I got word last Friday that he was passing on. We all grew up together, and I got pictures of my brother James and my brother Robert. My cousin James and my brother Robert had been out riding their bicycle, and back in the old days you rolled the one pants leg up so the chain wouldn't gnaw your pants up. And they were both barefooted. They'd been riding the bike for miles. That was the days. Back in them days, if you was at your aunt's house, she would feed you just like you was one of her own. And she would slap the dog shit out of you if you done something stupid. Just like she would one of her own. I mean, your aunts and uncles were an extension of your mother and father. They had full authority to take the belt to you. Now, mine Aunt Ethel, she didn't hesitate to take the belt. And I gotta say, in all honesty, she whipped us fairly. She would whip us no harder than she'd whip her own son. But it was for us acting crazy and clowning around, and she'd set limits. And we'd break those limits every time. And she had a closet that she kept personal effects in, family albums and records and all that kind of stuff. And she didn't want kids in there rambling around. So she had developed over the years that closet was haunted. And if you opened that, the evil that was in there would go up your nose. And as soon as your aunt come home, she could see it in your face. She knew that you had been in that closet. And we was all afraid. Well, when we got around 12, 13, somewhere up in that area, we was over there, and we'd been down to the football game, and we were just wild and having a good time. And then the double dog dares came out. I dare you to open. Well, I had a little bit of spirit of adventure in me. So they all stood behind me, every one of them. Gene, my brother Gene, and my cousin Donald, and and whoever else was in the room with us at the time. And now I'm going to open that closet that has a hane in it. Now, you northern folks may not know what a hane is. Y'all would refer to that as a ghost or something like that, but in the South, you had haints. Haints are like haunts, ghosts. So, got the old handle on the knob, and when I opened that door, I just thought I'd just get it over with. I yanked the door open. As soon as I turned that knob and I felt the latch let go, I yanked that door open. And inside there, she had a mop handle propped up, leaning against the door. And that damn handle come out and hit me in the head. When I opened that door, that handle come out and smacked me in the head. And every kid in that room jumped out of every window and door that was nearest to them. I'm there fighting that demon, trying to keep it from going up my nose. And shit, I ran. I'm telling you, I got my ass out of Dodge, and everybody was hiding behind bushes and all that kind of stuff. Well, now you know. The way it works there now, you gotta go back and close that door to the closet. And since I opened it, I had to close it. Well, let's see what's going on here. Well, that was a phone call from people I don't want to hear from. Not people, company. United Healthcare. I have not wanting to listen to anything they have to say. I pay for their service. I get nothing in return for their service. Them two people right there done spotted me up on the hill, and they already upset already, and I'm 100 feet away from them. Anyhow, I go back in there, and I didn't see anything inside of the closet. And I'm going to make sure they didn't attack me. Anyhow, I hope they see I'm right here behind them. I had to go, and I was scared to look in there. I was afraid that there might be one more ghost or hang up in there. But I threw the old mop back in there and shut the door. Wasn't very long, here come Uncle Cleo and Aunt Ethel driving up in that new Ford Sunliner. 1957, 58 it might have been. 50, it was the one where the top folded back down into the trunk. And it might have been 58. They come riding up in there, and she put everything away and started dinner. We were, of course, out there playing games and doing all that stuff, and she finally called us in. We thought, wow, that was a fast dinner. She got that thing fixed. And in her house, when you went up steps onto the front porch, then you went directly into the living room, and she wanted us all to sit down over there. And she said, I'm only going to ask one time, which one of y'all went into the closet? And she said, remember, I can look at your face and I can tell which one it went in because the demon will be in your eyes. I go, oh shit. I was up there twice. First time I opened it and then I had to go close it. Both of my eyes must be just filled full of demons. I turned my eyes to the left and looked down. You know, I didn't want to look directly at her because I knew she would spot the demons in my eyes. So I just sitting there, my lips starting to quiver already, you know, because I was trying to work up a good story. And then when I looked around the room, every one of them in that room, my fellow compadres, the ones that gave me the double dog dare, they were looking at me. And they were kind of like more or less nodding their head in my direction. I go, uh-oh. I done this on a double dog dare, and now they done turned on me. Because, see, they knew the wrath of Ethel. The wrath of Ethel could be quite severe. She was a blonde woman that had an anger streak about her. She was a kind, gentle soul, but when she was mad, she had our bloodline deep in her, and she was, that madness would come out. And then she says to everybody in the room, everybody leave except you. And she pointed at me. So they all left the room. I'm thinking, oh, hell, it's just going to be a matter of time. She's going to start frailing on me, so I'm going to have to be braced for impact. And she said, I've always thought you had a little bit more smarts than some of these others. But she said, you let me down so bad today. She said, Donald is dumb as a day-old chicken. That was her son. And I knew he would do some mean-ass shit like that. But I thought I put enough of trust in you that you would basically lure everybody away from the closet so that rule wouldn't get broken. And I was sitting there crying. You know, for a boy, that's hard to do. But I was feeling guilty. And she said, now shut up that damn whining. I don't want to hear none of that shit. I'll give you something to whine about. I go, but I sucked that shit up real quick. I sucked that snot right back real quick. And she said, next time I leave y'all together, you just remember what I told you. I put a lot of trust in you. Don't let me down again. No, ma'am, I promise, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please. I'll do it. I'll watch everything. I'll spy on them little suckers. I turned like a rat. I was like a turncoat. And, well, I come out of the room crying, see? Tears in my face. And every one of them like, oh, no. She must have whaled the shit out of him. But nope, there wasn't no beating that day, but I learned a lesson about trust. And as I got older, they confided in me why they didn't want us. See, I went away to military school, and I had discipline in me, and I'll go back over there. Well, the day they told me my brother was killed, I was in the military academy, and I went over there, and we had a lot of talks. We was waiting for my daddy to get there to bring the bad news. And, well, she showed me all the family albums and stuff. Their history went back a long way back there. And they always had the best camera that you could get. All of her kids, well, Donald didn't go in the military. He went in the Postal Service, but the other two older kids, they both went into the Navy. Oh, my apologies. The oldest went into the Navy, and the youngest went into the Army. Kenneth was in the Army. But all three of them worked for the post office department. I believe before my cousin, my youngest last cousin went, he had almost 40 years of service with the postal department. And he retired and died. He never got to live. He dedicated his life to bringing people mail door to door, and never got to live. But that was his choosing. I was like a damn grasshopper. I was everywhere. I've been everywhere, man. I ain't shitting you. My other uncle, Uncle Belton, when he came home from World War II, we were in Bluffsburg, Alabama, over at Thomas's grocery store in Bluffsburg. And here come the soldiers home, Uncle Belton, and two or three other of my cousins. They were in uniform when they came home. They had just got off the ship and got down to Alabama. And when he came in, he grabbed me and put me over my head, and then he held his hands up and he said, "Stand in my hands." And I stood in his hands, and he clamped down on my bare feet and he raised me above his head, all the way above his head. I'd been 12 years old, pretty lanky kid. I was almost 6 foot by that time. And he raised me above his head, and man, it was so high up there above. And then he did push-ups with me, up and down, up and down. And everybody was applauding, and everybody was having a good time. And my uncles and all the relatives that had come home from war that day, they had their nose full of alcohol, and they were celebrating being home. It was a wonderful time. And we had some great relatives. Really, my uncles, they were just outstanding people. I had one, Uncle Jasper. Uncle Jasper stayed 38 years in the Navy, and he retired out on the West Coast. He lived in Ferndale, California. Actually, he lived a little bit south of Ferndale, down in a little bitty seaport village. And we visited him a couple of times. And when his time was up, when he got in his 80s, he moved back to Alabama and lived behind his brother's house till he died. They all served America. In those days, combat brought freedom to oppressed nations. Combat made the world a safer place through the blood of our young people. And things have changed. We use our soldiers now in a way that I don't feel they get the right credit for it, because the causes they're having to fight for, and the reason that they're doing what they're having to do today is not freedom setting. It's not bringing freedoms to nations. It's not instilling democracy around the world. It's not fortifying democracy. We have a relationship that you can't tell the good guys from the bad guys. You have dictators that are friends with our nation. We seek comfort in dictators. Yeah, we court dictators like Putin, dictators like Orban, dictators like Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-un. That wouldn't have flew during our period of time. And then here's the deal. They want to call anybody that has any other kind of idea a communist. If you find that appalling, what's happening to our country today with our soldiers, if you say anything in opposition, you're a communist. And yet, some of the best friends to our president and our country are dictators like Putin, Orban, Kim Jong-un. It's just so odd to find a way of defining what we're about. We're not instilling democracy anymore, and we're not about a freedom cause, a cause to help you to find a route to freedom. Ours has money-driven intent. How much oil can we get out of your country? How much oil can we extract from your nation? If I attack you and take your country away from you and take all the oil, it's a different thing. I'm saying things right now that probably could have them to be starting an FBI file on me because I'm speaking communist stuff, because I want to have the feeling of freedom. And the soldiers are caught up in a game, in a Ponzi game, where they used to have clear directions to go in. Now the kids are told in the military that we're going to attack Cuba. The kids don't ask, why are we going to attack Cuba? We're going to attack Greenland. They don't ask, why Greenland? Because, if they do ask, they're going to be labeled a communist. That's so sad. But hey, I'm old-fashioned. I'm from back in the days when right was right and wrong was wrong. Good always ruled over evil. But we're seeing that reversed. Evil now is not that bad. In fact, if you look at evil just at the right direction, if it's painted gold, how can it be bad? That's just my thought. So, with that, I don't think she's coming out today. Oh, that might be her. No, that ain't her. She's moving away. Oh, she's moving in that direction. No, I think she's got glasses on. No, that ain't Angelique. I think Angelique had a red blouse on. She did. All right, let me pause it, and I'll pick it back up when she calls. Oh, here she is. Now she's loading us with groceries. Whew, I'm so hot. I'm sorry if I got off on a tangent about where we at today with our military. But it's a little something, as I go back in the past, and I think about what it was like then. See, the young people don't have no idea what it was like then compared to today. So that's the reason I take off on something like that, is let them know what glory.
If I could go back in the past, I would do a lot of things differently.
I know. What glory that we bestowed upon our warriors, because they helped bring liberty and freedom around the world. And other countries would call on us to bring our troops to assist them. And we didn't get a whole lot of money. In fact, we paid out a lot of money, and a lot of countries paid us back over the years, but it wasn't about the money back in them days. It was about doing the right thing. And that's what we are about today. We're still that way, but unfortunately times have changed, and ain't no going back. And I'm not whining and complaining about a day like today. It is absolutely outstanding. Oh, I see fresh hamburger meat.